back in there in right field batting second. Jeff Bagwell first base hitting third. Bill Spiers, the third baseman, bats fourth. Richard Hidalgo in left field hitting fifth. Carl Everett, the center fielder, bats sixth. Tony Eusebio catching, batting seventh. Tim Bogart, shortstop, hits eighth. And Sean Bergman, the pitcher, batting ninth. Defensively, Scott Rolen at third. Desi Relaford, shortstop. Mark Lewis second. Rico Brogna at first. Mark Parent doing the catching this afternoon. A slight elbow problem for Mike Lieberthal. Greg Jefferies, Doug Glanville, and Bobby Abreu in the outfield from left to right, and Tyler Green is on the mound.
Tyler's 2-2 with the 4.45 ERA. He's coming off a tough loss to Cincinnati last Monday. He pitched a very good game. He ended up with the L in a 3-1 game. But other than a very erratic game in Florida, he's thrown the ball very well. He showed good command. He's had good stuff. Really done an excellent job in those other starts.
Key to his success is throwing strikes. He has good stuff, and Craig Biggio leads it off, batting at .319. The arbiters this afternoon: Jerry Davis will call the balls and strikes. Wally Bell at first, Jerry Meals at second, and the crew chief Terry Tate at third. That's not a good way to start. That's the way Tyler started the game in Florida. First pitch way outside. It got all the way to the backstop. Second pitch way inside. And then when you're so wild with the first couple of pitches, then you're not going to get a borderline pitch. 3 balls and no strikes to Biggio.
As Biggio, he's taking a strike. There's no question about it. When he squares around like that, you know he's not bunting. It's almost like he's turning around to sacrifice, but it's a distraction for the pitcher. He's got to put that out of his mind and just look at the glove.
And that one over, 3-1. Biggio refuses to wash his batting helmet, as you can see.
Boy. Got to be that Dennis Laborio down there. You know, when I was a player at Clubby back in 1973, I never allowed that to happen.
All over that poor Dennis Laborio.
The one thing Tyler in his last start is he said he just relaxed more, just got comfortable, and you know, when you start off like that, pretty erratic with your pitches, it tends to make you tense up. You start fighting yourself and getting in your head. Well, I got to throw a strike. I got to throw a strike. You got to just sit back, relax, pick up that glove.
Here's the red-hot Derek Bell hitting at .421, second in the league in hitting behind Walt Weiss. Walt Weiss hitting at .429. That's the type of pitch that was around the plate, but again, if you're so erratic to begin with, you're not going to get pitches.
You're not going to, not at all.
Got that one over. 1-1 the count to Derek Bell. All of us here in the booth and at Veterans Stadium would like to send along our very best to Ted DeMuzio, Phillies security guard, father of Michael, who's been ill of late. And Ted, we all miss you, and we hope you're back here at the ballpark real soon. There goes Biggio, and it's fouled. Must have been hit and run because Bell offered a pitch that was inside.
That wasn't a good pitch to swing at. A lot of times, even if it's not a hit and run, as you see Biggio, you see him, he's anxious there. You know he's going. It probably was a hit and run to see him like that. The best thing a pitcher can do is just hold the ball on him. Let him get out there. Let him get antsy.
Biggio leads the league in steals, one better than Eric Young of the Dodgers.
That's one reason that Derek Bell is getting pitches to hit.
Bouncing ball up the middle. Lewis tags second. Relay, double play. So that'll help Tyler Green. A 4-3 twin killing, 2 outs and no base runners.
Lewis just comes up. He's right there at the bag, stands on him in a perfect double play ball, and that's something maybe get him going after being a little erratic right off the bat. Get your confidence up, help you relax a little bit.
Here's Jeff Bagwell batting at .250. 7-0.
So over the last 10 days, what Houston's done as a team, 310. Yeah.
Well, they're second in the league in runs scored behind only St. Louis. Fourth in the league in team batting. Lead the league in stolen bases. The always calm Larry Dierker. Not really excitable.
Yeah.
2 balls and no strikes to Bagwell. Ground ball foul, third base side. To pass along our best to Clarence Hobbs, is in the Lankenau Hospital recovering from an operation. Clarence, a retired gate supervisor. He's worked for the Phillies for 30 years. Clarence, hope you're better real soon. Good breaking ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jeff Bagwell. Missing. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And a rip and a high fastball fouled it back. 52nd anniversary wishes to Marie and Phil Letterman from daughters Lynn and Debbie, and from us.
He gets this fastball. It's up just high enough. That ball is down a little bit. Bagwell can lose a pitch like that, but he has a lot tougher pitch with a ball up. He's got a big uppercut. It's a tougher pitch for him to handle.
Walk Bagwell, second walk in the inning. Given up by Tyler Green, and will bring up Bill Spiers. Spiers playing at third base today, hitting at .204. He was the best pinch hitter in the major leagues last year. He hit .455 as a pinch hitter. Bagwell will run. All of the Astros will run. They lead the league in steals. Bagwell's stolen 6 of them. He's been thrown out 3 times.
They're all the way around. They're strong offensively. On the bases, plate, home run. They get very solid offensive ball club. Spiers, of his 11 hits, 6 of them are doubles.
There goes Bagwell. Parent's throw is strong, and he's out at second base. Parent has thrown out 5 of 9 base stealers. And Bernie gets the job done, and down go the Astros in the first. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left after 1/2. Top of the first, we move to the bottom of the first. Terry Francona's starting lineup. Doug Glanville leads off in center field. Greg Jefferies, left fielder, bats second. Scott Rowland, third base, hits third. Rico Brogna at first, batting fourth. Mark Lewis, second baseman, will hit fifth. Bobby Abreu in right field, batting sixth. Mark Parent catching, hitting seventh. Desi Relaford, the shortstop, bats eighth. Tyler Green pitching and hitting ninth. Larry Dierker's defense has Bill Spiers at third, Tim Bogar at shortstop, Craig Biggio at second, Jeff Bagwell at first, Tony EUSEBIO catching, Richard Hidalgo in left field, Carl Everett in center, and Derek Bell in right. Sean Bergman is the pitcher.
He's making his fourth start today. He's 2-1 with a .321 earned run average. After his first 2 starts, he was sidelined with tendonitis in his right shoulder. He didn't make another start until April 26th against Montreal. He threw 6 shutout innings. The Astros won that game 15-0. Faced the Phillies last year out of San Diego, with San Diego in 3 games. Didn't fare too well.
1 strike to Doug Glanville, who's hitting at .291. Bergman was originally a 6th round draft pick of the Detroit Tigers in the June '91 draft. A high school teammate of Mike Grace.
Really?
Yes, sir. Both from Joliet Catholic High School in Illinois. Popped him up toward third base. Bogar calls off Spiers and makes the catch. Yeah, Gracie and
I did not know that.
Gracie and Sean Bergman were the number 1 and number 2 pitchers on that high school team. Bergman was not drafted out of high school. Mike Grace was by San Diego, opted to go to Bradley University. Bergman went to Southern Illinois University. where he really came on. Once he got away from Gracie, he started to pitch well, and he was
a lot of guys do. A lot of guys
drafted out of Southern Illinois by Detroit. One ball and no strikes to Greg Jefferies. Fouls it out of play, 1-1. Jefferies hitting at 289.
He's relieved most of his career. He's been spot starter. So the last 95 with Detroit is when he started all his games. Since then, he's been both starter and reliever.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Jefferies. Fouls this one out of play. Still 1-2. And our best wishes for a speedy recovery to Ted Sloan Sr. He's a minor league player in the Phillies system, a good friend of Connie Mack's. Wishes from sons Ted Jr. and Bob, both of whom played in the Phillies minor league system. Ted Sloan Sr., big baseball fan and baseball player. Rare strikeout for Jefferies, who is the second in the league in toughest to fan behind only Tony Gwynn, but he goes down swinging.
Look, it's this good slider, good breaking ball down here. Down low, it looks like a fastball is going to be down and in, and bottom just drops out of it. Jefferies swings right over the top of it.
Brings up Scott Rolen. Rolen hitting at 269. Here at Veterans Stadium, batting at .412. Jammed him and he grounds a foul. 2 quick strikes to Scott Rolen. Houston got Sean Bergman during the offseason from San Diego in a deal that sent outfielder James Mouton to San Diego. Reaches out and fouls it out of play. Still 0-2 to Rolen. Two strikes. Larry Walker, Vinny Castilla and company move in tomorrow. The Colorado Rockies tomorrow and Tuesday night. Business person special on Wednesday.
Vinny Castilla.
Vinny Castilla, 12 homers. He's tied for the major league lead with Mark McGwire and Ken Griffey Jr. All of them with a dozen. Struck out Rolen. Ball gets through Eusebio. He fires. It hits Rolen. And the ball chased down by BIGGIO. Followed a bouncing ball. But Rolen is out. Ruled out by Wally Bell. Rolen said he did not take the turn heading to second base and felt like first base was his. But Wally Bell says no. What a weird play. It'll be a strikeout wild pitch. And then he is out at first base. Eusebio to Bagwell to BIGGIO and back to Bagwell.
See right there, right? Just by doing that, little flinch to second base makes him attempting to go to second. That makes him a fair game to be tagged on that play.
Another weird play. No runs, hits, errors, none left after 1-0.
And Rex gave some words of encouragement to the special needs children. There is Hud, who looked like he was having as good a time as the kids, which isn't surprising.
He is a kid.
He is. He has great energy. Jeff Bagwell leads it off in a scoreless ball game here in the 4th inning. There is Rex Hudler talking to Matt Beach on the Phillies bench. Deep to right center field. Abreu, a long run at the warning track, and Bobby Abreu runs it down. Bagwell hit it pretty well, but Abreu looked like it had it lined up the whole time, and he got it.
It's his fastball up out over the plate a little bit, but just away, just enough, and Bagwell got some power out there, but Abreu goes back. Glanville looking at each other, and good communication there, making sure there's no collision or not both going for it, taking a chance on dropping that thing.
You don't see a whole lot of balls get between those two guys when they're high in the air like that. They can cover some ground.
Yes, they can.
Bill Spiers getting a start at third base. His 13th game started down there. Plays a lot at third along with Sean Berry. He got a single to left his first time up. Phillies have out hit the Astros 3-1. Still no score. They are hitting into quite a few double plays in this series, are the Phillies. There is a line drive base hit to center field for Spiers. So he has both hits given up today by Tyler Green. He's a one-out base runner.
Got a fastball up a little bit there. Even when you have some movement, Tyler's got some good movement on his fastball, but when you get it up, it's kind of flat. It just tails away a little bit. When you get it down, you get some sink on it, get the ground ball.
They'll bring up Richard Hidalgo. Popped up foul. Nice play by Scott Rolen in foul territory. Grabbed that right out of the club box of the Houston Astros. You think they'd have tried to knock it out of his hands? Each team on the road, and snap throw to first. Each team on the road, I think it's 6 or 8 prime tickets called the club box. Club officials, whoever the traveling secretary gives them to, and that was the Phillies club box where that ball went, and they're all full of Astros people, and they just let Scott reach in there. Very, very nice of them.
That was nice.
Base hit left field for Hidalgo, and another pitch up in the strike zone. Stopping at second is Spiers. So the Astros with runners at first and second here in the 4th inning with nobody, or with one out.
Well, Tyler hasn't had real good command. You see his ball's up a little bit about waist high. You see Parent reaching up about at his belt to get it. One thing with Tyler has walked 3, but one thing with him, he's one of those guys at times he can be effectively wild. By that, hitters go in there and don't get real comfortable because he's, you know, he'll throw a pitch up and in, and he'll turn around and throw one on the black, and he keeps guys off balance with it.
Carl Everett breaks his bat and loops it foul out of play. Nice catch down there. Several fans brought their gloves, and one of them made the play. And Carl Everett will be looking for some new lumber. There's the guy with a souvenir. Gives us a chance. Send special birthday wishes along to Phillies photographer Rosie Ron. It's her birthday today. Rosie's been at this ballpark since it opened in various capacities, so we wish her a special happy birthday.
Rosie's birthday?
Rosie's birthday. There she is.
Happy birthday, Rosie.
My neighbor in Bluebell.
Sweetheart. Great lady.
Rosie was an usherette here at this ballpark when it opened. The original Hot Pants Patrol. She'll get mad at me for saying that, right?
Yeah.
She's been around that long?
I won't say anything.
She was just a child. Everett takes it up high. 1 ball and 1 strike to Carl Everett, the switch hitter. And Tyler Green right now at a total of 50.
Good strike ball ratio, not real strong for him.
Everett playing mostly against right-handed pitching. He's a switch hitter, but a better left-handed batter. Moises ALOU has a sore right wrist. There had to be a reason for the way he was firing that bat all over the place last night. So ALOU not starting the ball game today, as Mark Parent wants to have a talk out there with Tyler Green. Hard to call him Mark.
Yeah.
As you look at Moises ALOU on the bench, everybody calls Parent Bernie, which makes a lot of sense when you grew up in this town.
You would think they would also call him Perron.
Right, but they don't. That could be one of your shallow thoughts. Well, we just used it, so we can't. High and outside. So Tyler Green getting a little bit of trouble here. Carl Everett's a really good fastball hitter. Twice in his career he's homered from both sides of the plate as you look at Tony Eusebio, the catcher, waiting on deck. And he rips a pitch to center field. Late start for Spiers. They're going to hold it. Glanville got on it quickly. Look out, they got him at first. They didn't see it. Rico didn't see that Lewis had snuck in behind Everett at first base. But good play by Glanville after they stopped the runner at third.
He came in and made a strong throw. Rico's first responsibility when he cuts it off is to look at that runner at third, and that's why he didn't see Lewis come in behind him. Here he gets a fastball. It's down, but it's middle of the plate. Glanville comes in hard with a strong throw. You see Rico, he'll catch it. See, the first thing he does is he looks to third base. Then it's too late to go to first.
Yeah, Lewis had done a good job sneaking in behind Everett. Glanville with a very strong arm getting it back quickly. So the bases are loaded with one out for Eusebio. Hit a fly ball to center his first time up. They love Brad Ausmus, so Eusebio is not getting much of a chance to play. This is only the 7th game he started this year. He's an opposite field hitter for the most part. Likes to hit the ball the other way and work it from in and out.
And Ausmus does a great job with that pitching staff, and that's one thing when you have an offense like that. Ausmus, not that he's not a good hitter, he's
ground ball to third.
260,
Rolen overran it. Wow. Thought at first they might get a double play with Eusebio running because he's really slow, but they get nobody.
I think that's one thing. He wanted to be too quick on it. Makes the pitch rolling, and he's right there. Comes up, and he might have just looked up at that third base runner, and that happens a lot. A lot of times you got guys on base. The fielders, before they catch them, pick their head up, take a little peek, and by then it's too late.
So that'll be scored an error on Rolen. And an RBI for Eusebio. And here's a ground ball to second. It's not hit very hard. Nice play by Lewis, and then Bronya doesn't handle it. And 2 runs are going to score on this play. Wow. Phillies have been giving up a lot of runs in this series. They had not been doing this, and now all of a sudden in this series, lots of runs are scoring, and they're unearned runs.
7 unearned runs in the first 2 games. And here you see Lewis does a good job hanging on to the ball. And Rico actually expecting it just a little off balance there to be able to make that catch, which is surprising for Rico Bronya. I think it was a catchable ball, but I think his weight was in a position such that he couldn't go one way or the other very well.
So we'll see who they give the error to. There has to be another error charge there. 2 runs scored on that play, and now all of a sudden it's 3-0, and Bogar is safe at second. And the pitcher bats, Bergman. They're going to the error to Lewis on that. Looked like that was a ball Rico might have handled. I think he'd tell you that. As you say, might have been off balance a little bit, but that wasn't that bad a throw. Bergman swings and misses. The back-to-back errors, and more unearned runs go on the board. And a miss by Bergman. 3 hits in the inning, all singles, and now 2 costly errors. Bogar will get 1 run batted in on that play. And Bergman strikes out, so Tyler Green picks up a strikeout, but the Astros pick up 3 runs, 3 hits, 2 costly errors, and 1 left. And they lead it 3-0. So Sean Bergman has a 3-0 lead. Has a couple of misplays there in that 4th inning, led to 3 runs for him. And the Phillies will go with Scott Rolen, Rico Bronya, and Mark Lewis, the 3-4-5 hitters in their lineup. Phillies are a team that early in the season have played terrific defense, but not right now.
There you see the play is should have been the 3rd out of the inning. He hits the ball to Lewis, does a good job tagging and holding on, and that ball Rico just, I really do, I believe Rico would say he should have caught it. I mean, you see Rico make a lot tougher plays, but maybe, I don't know if he felt like the throw was taking him into the runner, or I'm not sure.
Well, 2 of those runs are unearned. Phillies gave up 3 unearned runs last night.
I'm trying to figure out how all 3 are not unearned.
Well, I think
the bases loaded, the ground ball with 1 out. Bases loaded, the ground ball to Rolen.
That ball's hit well to right center field, and it is in for a base hit. Takes a big hop, and Rolen down by 3 runs will stay at first base.
But if Rolen catches a ground ball at third and throws to the plate,
that's a second out. But you can't see when you make a scoring decision. You can't assume where the guy's going to throw. So. You know,
why do you assume then how do you assume he's going to second?
You don't. I think you just assume it's an error and 1 out, and now there's 1 out in the 2 outs in the inning, and now the next play.
Ground ball.
Yeah,
it's a 3rd out. I think that's a wrong call. I think it should all be unearned. Well, of course, I'm a pitcher.
That's exactly right. Boy, they've hit in a lot of double plays in this series too. Oh, good play by Rolen. Boy, Scott Rolen went after Bogar, and that looked like a double play when it left the bat, and it turns out not to be because of him.
And he takes him out there. It's exactly what you want to do. A ball hit to the right side, you want to slide to the outside, to the second base side. The one thing, as long as Scott Rolen, you see him reach for that bag, as long as he can reach that bag, he's not interfering out of the baseline. If he's farther out and he cannot reach second base, then there's interference. They can call a double play on interference on a base runner. Good job by Scott Rolen there.
Right, and you say slide that way because that shortstop's probably going to be coming your way.
Coming across the bag. If it's hit to the second base side, to the shortstop side, you generally slide outside the bag. If it's hit to that side.
Uh-oh. Get on second, Rico. You're safe. And hopefully he's not hurt. BIGGIO made a throw on the, that was tough for Bogart to handle, and they don't get anybody. So the Astros make a mistake, and BIGGIO might get an error, and hopefully Bronia's all right. He's shaken up.
So he goes way, way far to his left, and BIGGIO wants to make the throw there, and you see Bogart coming across a little tentative about getting in the way of the runner there.
I think that throw was right in the middle of the bag, too, and here comes the runner at the same time. So there was Bronya, who was obviously stunned by that play, and then had to crawl towards the bag after the ball bounced away. And they will give BIGGIO an error. And the Phillies have runners at first and second with 1 out. Terry Francona and trainer Mark Anderson out there to have a talk with Bronya, who will stay in the ballgame. BIGGIO charged with an error as it's getting a little sloppy here today.
Looks like he might have got his elbow right in the face there.
And Bobby Abreu will bet. He hit a ball really hard his last time up to BIGGIO, who threw him out. And this pitch comes in high. Craig BIGGIO is a Gold Glove second baseman, but he has made 5 errors already this year.
One thing too, you see a guy like BIGGIO gets to a lot of balls. It's the same as Scott Rolen. I mean, they get to so many balls that they have more chances. There's more chances for errors.
Fouled out a play down the left field line, heading towards the seats, and it will go in there. Yeah, no offense to BIGGIO because he's really good, but Brett Boone does the same thing, gets to a lot of balls, and you think sooner or later that he's going to win a Gold Glove. Guy only made 2 errors last year. BIGGIO, as Andy just mentioned, gets to a lot of balls, and he's really good.
Matt Galante, the bench coach for Houston, said that just, Bidge goes out there, just send him out there and let him play. He's a team leader down there, and he has a good game, which he usually does. It's just like ho-hum. It's another good game for Bidge.
Yeah. Way outside from Bergman. Bergman does not look like he has a real good fastball today, and he's thrown a lot of sliders, mixed in some changeups. He's had some shoulder problems.
He was out for a while with this year after his second start. He missed some time with tendonitis.
Seen him with San Diego, and he could throw hard on a given night. Broken bat, base hit, right field. Bronya's going to score. It's going to go all the way to the wall. Another run being waved around. Here comes Lewis, stopping at second, and now moving on to third will be Abreu. 2-run score. And it's now 3-2 as Bobby Abreu knocks in a couple. He'll get a double and third on the throw.
Well, looks like a changeup here. It's down. It's good movement, but middle of the plate. Bobby Abreu, left-handed hitter. A lot of lefties like the ball down low, and he just takes it down into the corner. I'm not sure if Derek Bell had a little trouble getting it in as Bronya comes in to score, and John Vukovic waving Mark Lewis around. Craig Biggio makes a strong throw. Eusebio looked back. He might have had a chance with Abreu at third, but he caught the ball and looked back at the runner.
Now they're going to play the infield in for Mark Parent. Fly ball hit the deep center field. Everett going back. He'll make the play, and the Phillies will tie the ball game. Sacrifice fly, run batted in for Mark Parent, and we can go back, Larry Anderson, to that slide by Scott Rolen early in the inning.
Yep.
Should have been a double play. It wasn't because of the slide that he made, and all of a sudden you've got 3 runs on the board after a misplay.
Little things make so much of a difference. He gets his fastball or slider up here. Mark Parent does. Mark Parent likes that ball up there and does a great job. Gets it in the air. That's what you want to do there.
Yeah, and just that little thing that will never show up in the box scores led to 3 runs for the Phillies. So some loose play by both teams in this inning. 6 runs have scored. And it's a 3-3 ball game. See, Desi struck out on a good fastball his first time up. There is Mark Parent, who knocked in that run, his 3rd of the year. Fly ball foul down the 3rd baseline. Bogart, Hidalgo, Richard Hidalgo, and foul ground makes the play. The Phillies with a 3 spot in the inning. On 2 hits, a costly error, and nobody left. And just like that, we're tied at 3.
Sprained left distal hamstring, but he should be able to make his next start. That's something he'll throw on the side probably in a couple days, see how it is. If it's still bothering him, they might have to juggle the rotation some, but the way they said now, it looks like he'll be able to make the next start, which is a good sign.
Here's that high breaking ball to Derek Bell, Andy.
Well, he got away with one here. I mean, even Jerry Davis had said that, told Derek Bell it wasn't a strike. Derek Bell knows it. He got fooled a little bit, but Holmes, he got the job done.
Rico Bronya takes ball 1. Yeah, Derek Bell turned around, as hitters will do a lot of times in that situation, say something to the umpire. Was it a strike? And you could see Davis shake his head no, which didn't make him feel any better. Sean Bergman pitching into the 6th inning. He pitched 6 scoreless innings his last time, and they're going to get the bullpen up. Mike Magnanti is the left-hander, and former Phil Bob Scanlon the right-hander. Sinker comes in low, 2-0. Bronya, Lewis, Abreu due to hit in this inning. Bergman's had a little shoulder tendonitis this year, coming over to the Astros from the Padres this year for James Mouton. Ball 3 to Bronya, trying to get on here in this tie ball game. We are in the 6th. Phillies already in their bullpen. We'll see if Bronya will look at one or whether he gets a green light. He takes it all the way. Ball 4, walked him. Phillies with the leadoff man on here in the 6th inning. And that is walk number 1 issued by Bergman. Durker talking to Vern Rule, his pitching coach. Astros are a hot team. They've won 8 in a row. They've taken over first place in their division. They're playing a lot of games on the road right now, and they're 11-6 as Bergman has not thrown that many pitches. 14 first pitch strikes, 8 first pitch balls. So he's gotten ahead of the batters today.
And no walks.
Yep, that was the first one. Phillies have been heading into a lot of double plays in this series and have been taking them out of potential scoring situations. See, Lewis lived on an error by Biggio earlier and has also flied out, and he has scored a run. Bergman to move over to first. Here's Rico Bronya on with a leadoff walk, tied at 3. We're in the 6th. Phillies have Bobby Abreu on deck, and now Bergman wants Eusebio to go through the signs again. strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to Lewis. Battling a little bit of a slump lately, hitting at just 198 as he has really not gotten started yet. And Terry Francona talking about him in the paper this morning. Has a lot of confidence in his ability to swing the bat. Terry had him over in Detroit when he was a coach over there. One ball and 1 strike. Over for a strike. Good pitch, 1-2. Bergman has had a good slider this afternoon. Has really lived with that pitch.
Yeah, it's almost, I mean, it goes down a lot more like a small curveball. In fact, I'm just making a note here. He'll throw a cut fastball that to me is more like a slider, but that what they call a slider looks like just a short curveball. Good downward bite to it.
Whoop, that got away from EUSEBIO. A fastball up and in. Brony will go to second. We'll see how they score. But that ate him alive.
That was a tough pitch to handle for Tony there.
Well, the better fastball.
He's sitting down and away. That's the thing. He's sitting down inside. That's just, he's got to jump up and reach for it.
That should be a wild pitch.
I would think.
And it is. So Rico Brogna on at second on the wild pitch. The count 2 ball to the right side.
If he can.
If he can.
They're going to try and keep him from hitting the ball over the right side.
Fly ball to left field. Hidalgo go on the back. He's going to make the play. Brogna tags and will stay at second base. Tough to tag on a fly ball to left and get over to third.
Yeah, once Rico saw that he was under it, you know, he did the right thing, went back and tagged up. If he's running back for it, then you got to be halfway. If you see the outfielder's numbers, you got to be halfway in case he doesn't make the catch. But you see him under it, you can go ahead and tag and, you know, watch what happens. You break like you're going to go to third. If you see he makes a good throw, you got to stop and go back.
Right, and make him make the throw because maybe the ball bounces away.
Right.
Bobby Abreu, the batter, and here comes Durker. He has that left-hander Magnanti up in the bullpen, and he's going to bring him in. So Bergman will go 5 1/3 innings and will lead. He cannot win the game. He could lose it. Larry Durker pats him on the shoulder there and makes a pitching change. So here comes the left-hander Magnanti into the ball game. We'll be right back. We're tied up at 3. The ball game, it is tied at 3. There you see the totals. Right now he's given up 3 runs, 1 of them earned. He leaves with Brogna his responsibility on at second base. And there is that line, which as we mentioned is incomplete. The 1 walk he issued was to Brogna to begin the 6th inning. So he pitched pretty well today. Well, he is not happy. No pitcher ever wants to come out of a game that they could only lose and can't win. And that's what his situation is. And the pitcher will be the left-hander Magnanti. They have 4 left-handers available out of the bullpen. I've not seen this guy so far this weekend. He's 6'1", 185-pounder. Born in Glendale, California, now makes his home in Burbank. There are the numbers on him. He did a great job for Larry Durker last year after coming up from New Orleans. Appeared in 40 games, had an ERA of 2.27, a record of 3-1, and picked up 1 save. Had 43 strikeouts in 47 2/3 innings. And most importantly for a relief pitcher, just 11 walks.
Wow, that's good. He's got a fastball. He's got a little sink, a little tail to it. Pretty good slider, a pretty good changeup.
Bob Scanlon remains up, the right-hander.
There you see Bobby Abreu. The reason that Magnanti is up there to face Abreu, Bobby Abreu struggling against left-handers so far, hitting at only 154.
So Magnanti in to pitch to Abreu. And the pitch is outside for ball 1. Phillies have Mark Parent on deck, and they're a little bit of a bind pinch hitting today because Mike Lieberthal might be able to take 1 pinch hitting appearance, but they don't want him to catch because his elbow's bothering him. So you wouldn't use him this early.
If something happens to Mark Parent,
right.
You did use Lieberthal, and you're going to have Ruben Amaro in there to catch, who can, you know, he's worked at it. He's tried to be more versatile, and he caught in that exhibition game against Reading.
Right. Terry Francona told us before the game, yes, he would think about pinch hitting Lieberthal, but it has to be the right spot, and that means late. And we're only in the 6th. foul away by Abreu. Saw his numbers, right-handers and left-handers. Bobby batting .365 against right-handed pitching coming into the ballgame and struggling against left-handers. That's the one thing that still he has not gotten going, but he hasn't hit off that many left-handers, and they feel that he will hit left-handed pitching in time. The more he plays and the more he sees them. Rico Brogna's turned his program around against lefties this year. And now Magnanti wants him to go through the signs again. The count of a ball and 2 strikes. Phillies have left-hander Yorkis Perez up in their pen. Sweeping breaking ball comes in high, 2-2. Magnanti used to be in the big leagues with Kansas City, pitched a number of years for the Royals, selected by the Royals in the 11th round of the '98 free agent draft, and then signed by Houston to a minor league contract in December of '96 and up with the Astros last year. Second year in the National League. 2-2. There goes another mask knocked off. This time it's Eusebio. And both catchers have gotten smoked.
Looks like he's throwing that kind of sweeping curveball or slider. He gets it up a little bit. Bobby just out front, fouled it straight back. Bell ringer for Tony Eusebio.
Count remains at 2-2. We're tied at 3. Phillies have Rico Brogna at second base. 1 out in the 6th. Another breaking ball. He takes it 3-2. ABREU trying to hang in there against Magnanti. There is Parent waiting on deck. He has a run batted in today with a sacrifice fly. Walked it. Good at bat by Bobby Abreu. Barreled that left-hander and got on.
Very good at bat.
And now we'll probably have another pitching change. Well, we'll see. Scanlon is up, the right-hander. Durker has moves with left-handed pitching. If he wants to just use Magnanti for one batter, but he's going to stay with him. He is just lounging there. Looks like he's at a picnic. He's hanging out on one of those chairs in the dugout.
He is so intense down there, isn't he?
He is. He's really uptight. There's Bob Scanlon. That's from all those years in the booth. Nothing bothers him. He doesn't understand that he's now responsible. Up here, it didn't matter. Dirk has a heck of a ball club, and, you know, a lot of people think they'll win that division.
Oh, you got some good guys on there with Bagwell and BIGGIO, just, you know, kind of running the team,
right.
Leaders. And
well, Magnanti's going to try and throw a sinker and get a double play ball, and he misses with it there. That was a changeup. I think just the opposite approach. All those breaking balls to a left-handed hitter. Now will probably try and nibble away. On deck is Desi Relaford, a switch hitter, and then Gomes due to bat. Off the glove of Bagwell. Late start for Brogna, and they'll have to hold it. Jeff Bagwell almost made a great play, and Rico Brogna had to hold up there. He didn't want to get doubled off. They're loaded.
yeah, he's got to hold up. In fact, he started to go back to the bag, which is the right thing to do. There's no chance of scoring on that ball. But that's a big difference. If you talk about left-handed first baseman, Rico Brogna makes that play. Mark Parent just drives the ball the other way. If he's left-handed, that ball's on his, obviously on his right hand. Probably gives him another foot to make that catch.
And the ball also went right to Derek Bell. So it made Vukovic have to hold him. Now Scanlon's going to come into the ballgame. So former Phil Bob Scanlon on his way in. Another pitching change. Bases loaded for the Phillies. Tied at 3. A tie ball game. That's about as even as you can get. The only thing different are the error totals today. And the new pitcher, the second of this inning, third overall, is right-hander Bob Scanlon. Big guy, 6'7", 215-pounder. Born in Beverly Hills, California. Still makes his home there. Originally drafted by the Phillies back in June of 1984. Traded to the Cubs with Chuck McElroy for Mitch Williams in April of '91. Has been in the Milwaukee organization, also Detroit, Kansas City, the Padres, and now here as a free agent, a minor league free agent with Houston. And the on-deck batter is Kevin Jordan. He would bat for Gomes. Desi Relaford takes a strike. So Desi with a chance to break this tie. He's 0 for 2, trying to extend his hitting streak.
Phillies getting some action in the bullpen. It's like Jerry Spradlin, right-handers up now, along with Yorkies.
Perez up earlier. Bases loaded. And 0-2 as Scanlon gets 2 quick strikes on Relaford. There is the right-hander Spradlin, left-hander Perez. No balls, 2 strikes. Down the right field line, fair or foul? It is foul. Desi Relaford got an off-speed pitch, a changeup maybe, and just hooked it foul. What a pitch to throw when you're up 0-2.
0-2 in the middle of the plate.
Man, they have to be talking about that pitch.
I'm sure Larry Durkers.
Yeah, you look at him scratching
his head. I don't think that's necessarily an itch as much as it's like, what are you thinking out there?
Really? I mean, you just speed the guy's bat up in that situation, and you can see him. He didn't like his arm speed on that changeup at all. He didn't like the way that it moved. Almost was disaster for the Astros and good for the Phillies. No balls and 2 strikes. Always amazed me when a guy's just hit a ball over the other dugout when you speed his bat up with a changeup.
Why come back with something slow? That to me is not. It's not being aware. It's not thinking.
That
maybe he threw that changeup up there, set him up for that fastball in, because he froze him right there. I thought just inside, I think.
It looked like a strike. Desi Relaford may have gotten a break there. See if he can make it happen after that, because that did freeze everybody, maybe even the home plate umpire. One ball, 2 strikes. Foul, a tough pitch off there to stay alive. In and out with the fastballs. Desi Relaford has struck out and fly to left. Fly ball, center field. Fairly deep. Carl Everett coming in. Bronya's going to try and score. Here's the throw to the plate. Safe! He beat it. Rico Bronya scores the go-ahead run. It was close, but Desi Relaford delivers, and it's 4-3.
I tell you, that was a close play. Made it, just deep enough. Rico not a burner, but he runs well. Timed it perfect. Scanlon tries to throw that fastball back in. It leaves it back, comes back over the plate. Well, he almost dropped that ball, too. I didn't realize that. But Rico just in there, got his foot on the plate just as Eusebio was tagging him.
Took 2 hops, and that second hop cost him.
They tagged him right in the back as Rico was already on the plate.
Kevin Jordan, Phillies' #1 pinch hitter, will now bat for Wayne Gomes, who is the pitcher of record. KJ with a big game-winning home run the other night in Cincinnati. Runners at first and second and 2 outs. 1 ball and no strikes. Swing and a miss. So the leadoff walk turns into a run for the Phillies here as Bronya led off with that walk.
And that's Bergman's walk there.
Right, he is now the pitcher of record. Jordan down the line, but foul. Kevin Jordan hooks it into the seats. And the count of 1-2 on KJ. You see his pinch hitting numbers for this year. That home run, winning the game in Cincinnati. And there is Sean Bergman, who will now be charged with 4 runs. 2 of them earned. And Gomes and Bergman, the pitchers of record at this point. We are in the 6th inning, 4-3. The Phillies with a 1-run lead. Jordan up the middle. BIGGIO gets Parrott at second base. Phillies with a run in the inning on one hit. They leave two and lead by a score of 4-3.
Play third base after pinch hitting for Bill Spiers. Bills lead 4-3 here in the bottom of the seventh. Doug Glanville will lead it off. Glanville 1 for 3 with a perfectly placed bunt single. Glove day here at the ballpark today. All youngsters 14 and under getting the glove. And the young lady has hers all set for a foul ball. 1 ball and no strikes to Doug Glanville. 2-0. Houston gets another one of their left-handers up, C.J. Nitkowski. And 4 left-handers out of the bullpen. 3 balls and no strikes to Doug Glanville. Scanlon walks Glanville on 4 pitches. So he's a leadoff base runner with a free ticket. That'll bring up Greg Jefferies. Jefferies has struck out, grounded into a double play, and lined out.
You know, I think you go back with Doug Glanville over the last week to 10 days, you're going to see a lot of 3-ball counts. It doesn't mean he walks all the time, but he's really getting to the point now. I think he's getting more and more confident in that leadoff spot. That's very important to get a leadoff walk.
Bills lead by a run. Would like to add to that lead here in the 7th inning. Jefferies around a bunt and takes it low. 1 ball and no strikes. EUSEBIO out to talk to Scanlon, and now pitching coach Brennan Rule coming out also. Scanlon came in the 6th inning, gave up a sacrifice fly and a ground out.
We were talking last night that Vern Rule is a famous trivia question. I can't help but think about it with Gary Maddox sitting in the ballpark today. Vern Rule was a guy who threw that ball in the playoffs in 1980 that Maddox broke his bat on, hit back to him, and they said he caught it, and they were going to call it a triple play. And it was obvious that he had trapped it. And they wound up calling it a double play. I remember Dallas Green going berserk. Well, the Vern Rule was the pitcher and Gary was the hitter. And they are here today.
I didn't remember Rule being the pitcher,
Yep.
but that was a bizarre play. They finally had to go over to the National League president to try to sort it out, and they compromised by giving him a double play, and it should have been 1 out.
It was a trap. It was 6 umpires missed that one.
2 balls and a strike to Greg Jefferies. Way outside, he's fallen behind Jefferies, 3-1. It's fouled straight back. It's full count to Greg Jefferies.
Good count to run on 3-1. Jefferies may have chased a pitch out of the strike zone. This is a running count, though, and you know, the only thing they would do is tell the base runner don't run. And we'll see if they run now 3-2 with nobody out.
Probably, since he ran 3-1, you'd think he'd be running 3-2 here. He does. Ground ball sharply hit. Bagwell makes the play at first. Glanville moves up to second. With 1 out, it'll bring up Scott Rolen.
Jefferies knows without a runner on at first base, he's got to double down the line. But at least the runner did advance because he was moving. If the runner isn't going on that play, Bagwell would have wheeled and thrown to second because he's a good thrower for a first baseman.
Scott Rolen is 1 for 3 today with a single. 1-0 to Rolen. Phils lead 4-3. We're playing in the bottom of the 7th.
And they have that left-hander ready for Rico Brogna.
Nitkowski.
C.J. Nitkowski, who started a game here at one time for the Cincinnati Reds.
2 balls and no strikes to Rolen. Base hit left center field. Glanville score. Phillies lead it 5-3. Juggled out there, and Rolen moves up on the juggle. An RBI single for Scott Rolen, and the Phillies have a 2-run lead.
Hidalgo trying to get to that ball too fast, and as Harry said, juggled by him, and he moves up. Good job by Scott Rolen. Scanlon jams him a little bit with a low fastball, and he slings it into the outfield for that extra run. There you see Hidalgo overrun it, and you know Rolen will move up when that happens.
And here comes Larry Dierker. He'll change pitchers with Rico Brogna hitting. He's made the way of the bullpen for C.J. Nitkowski.
And the Phillies have made the Astros pay for 2 leadoff walks. So many times you get burned on those, and it's happened to them today.
So that'll be it for Scanlon. We have a pitching change. Phils lead 5-3 back after these messages. 1-0. San Francisco beat Atlanta, knocked Glavine out after 4 innings. 12-8 Giants. Montreal beat Arizona 4-1 behind Dustin Hermanson. Dodgers beat the Pirates 10-5. Mets trying to halt their losing streak. They have a 5-2 lead in the ninth. Cincinnati leads Milwaukee 5-2 in the 4th. Cardinals and Cubs tied in the 6th, 4-4. Tampa Bay and Cleveland now tied at 5 in the 9th inning. The Devil Rays had a 5-1 lead in that game. Boston has beaten Texas 2-1. Baltimore behind Mike Mussina 2-0 over Minnesota. And the Yankees keep rolling. They lead Kansas City 7-1. Toronto and Oakland just underway. Later on, Detroit at Seattle. And the night game is Chicago and Anaheim. Moises ALOU will come out as a pinch hitter for C.J. Nitkowski. ALOU hitting at .320. 7 homers. He has knocked in 28. And Glider trying to save this one for Wayne Gomes. Phillies lead at 5-3 here in the 9th inning. One strike to ALOU. ALOU sitting out today's game. He's got a slight wrist problem. Had trouble hanging onto the bat last night.
The thing that can hurt that wrist more than anything is a check swing. And that's what he was dealing with last night, because Schilling was fooling him with a lot of good splitters and sliders, and he was check swinging.
And a good pinch hitter lifetime, as you can see, .393.
He's been a good everything.
Yeah. 2 balls and a strike to ALOU. Phillies lead by 2. We're in the 9th inning. To deep left center field, but it'll stay in the park. Glanville makes the catch at the warning track. 1 down here in the 9th inning.
The reason it stayed in the park is Leiter got in on him a little bit. You'll see that he did not. Well, here we're going to see the catch here. Glanville catches it right at the warning track, but ALOU did not get his arms out. He had to pull his arms back, and he doesn't get extension. See how he had to pull his arms back so he doesn't get that great extension he gets so many times. The ball dies.
There's Greg BIGGIO. He has walked twice, struck out, and singled. And strike to BIGGIO.
BIGGIO is such a good player. I mean, this is situation baseball where you have to take a strike. I mean, he's an all-star player, but they're down by 2 runs. A home run from him means nothing, so he takes a strike. He's just trying to get on base. Love to watch guys who know how to play.
Seton Hall product bounces it foul down the third base side. 0-2 to Craig Biggio.
He takes a first strike and then he's on his own. Now he's trying to get on base any way he can.
Rockies are in tomorrow. Larry Walker, Dante Bichette, Vinny Castilla and company.
That snapped that losing streak they were carrying around with them today, beating the Rockies.
I think it had gone to 6 consecutive games by
6, right. Right, 6 in a row. Phillies trying to snap the Astros streak,
which is at 8 coming into this game. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Biggio. To third. Scott rolling gloves. Biggio's retired. That's 2 outs here in the 9th inning.
Leiter got him on a slider, it looked like. Good play. A good pitch, and he hits a ground ball to Rolen. See, Biggio gets him out front just a little bit. You see him top hand that one right to Scott.
And we'll bring up Derek Bell, was 1 for 4. He is grounded into a double play and into a fielder's choice, doubled and struck out.
Big hitter for Leiter to get out with Bagwell on deck.
And he did. He popped him up, and this will be the ball game. Lewis puts it away. Ball game over. Phils win by a score of 5-3. Wayne Gomes will get the win. Mark Leiter his second save and as many opportunities. Desi Relaford had a good ball game defensively and hit a sacrifice fly that gave the Phillies the go-ahead run, and Mark Parent, good job behind the plate. So the Phils win by a score of 5-3, halting Houston's 8-game winning streak, and hopefully starting a streak of their own here in this homestand. 5-3 final at the vet. We'll be back with more right after these messages.